Lights, stage, brown couch, Studio A.
Special.
Very special. Things done changed. Look where you've arrived now. We're no longer in Studio G, gents, or backstage at Brixton Academy.
Is that strictly because of volume of people?
Yeah, you know, you all demanded to come as a band and whatever. It's fine. I'll be usurped off my own couch with my friends. It's well worth the effort. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by ahead of the release of the most important new British rock record since the last one you made. As far as everyone's concerned. Favourite Worst Nightmare, April 23rd. It's out, and yeah, congratulations on making a great record first and foremost. Well done. Round of applause for yourselves. Let's break the ice. Come on. Come on, Nick, get in there.
I'm clapping you. No, you're clapping me.
Yeah, we'll clap each other in a good way. So, immediately, in the immediate past, what you guys been up to? I mean, the last 3 or 4 weeks, a month and a half, you've been playing gigs, haven't you, ahead of the release of the record?
Yeah. And doing like the promo thing.
Your favourite?
Yeah.
Is that what inspired the title?
No, we've been asked that though, like everything. So what is your favourite Worst Nightmare?
Oh,
that's the end of every interview.
Yeah.
We've got some good ones. What is your favourite Worst Nightmare?
Yeah. People still ask you where you got your name from. Surely you've graduated from that.
Graduated from that. We've got a few.
I had someone who still believes.
Are you still enjoying yourself? That's a popular.
That's particularly why I'm
That's alright.
Hang on a second. We'll just right now off the list. And we got the answer from
Are you still enjoying yourself?
I've got dead serious answering like what's the favourite Worst Nightmare recently. It used to be like, well, mine is like whatever. Well, we always like being stuck in. Covered in treacle, we had to change your pants.
Yeah, in the hot weather,
And then, but I just got dead serious, like, I feel this title more describes the mood of the record rather than linked to any lyric or situation.
But you're doing press, at least, which is nice. And like last time, you didn't really do any on the first record, and rightfully so, you know, it was all, why would you, you know, at the time, let the music do the talking. But this time you seem a little more relaxed about stepping out there and going to award ceremonies and doing that kind of stuff. Is that fair to say?
I reckon, yeah. Grown up a little bit.
Yeah. Stop with that. You really were. But you know what I mean, you just seem to be a little more open to talk about your music this time. A bit more comfortable in your own skin, maybe, with the whole thing.
Probably. I suppose it was. Like, a little bit frightening before, I suppose, everything. Like just, you know, not as much. No. Have a laugh, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly, have a laugh. And you've made your second record, you've proved it again, that you can go in there and make a record different to the first one and still maintain people's interest. Well, we'll find out on April 23rd when it goes to number 28 with the bullet.
Yeah.
But, no, it definitely is as a record, you know that. We're going to get to the making of that, but first, just where we left off on the touring of the last record, and you gave yourselves little or no time to sort of regroup or think about making a record. You obviously had the tunes and had the inspiration, and you went in there and you just did it. How long had those songs been floating around for? Did you have a whole bunch of them from touring for the new record?
We had about 5, I think. 5 or 6.
Was there one for the first one that you remember writing?
Brian Storm was like first one we did when we recorded, and that was one that we'd always had like in like sound checks and stuff like playing. Would be that one we've been doing loads last year in like sound checks and that, and there were another few. But straight after like Leeds, about like a week later, we went in just to practice room for a poem.
Just the 4 of you?
Yeah.
So no producer or engineer at the time?
No.
Just you guys?
We went in studio.
Did you have a producer in mind at that point? Did you know you were going to work with James?
I think by then when you wanted.
I'd already rang James actually, like rang him when we were doing a festival somewhere like last in the summer. I remember like ringing him and asking him if he fancied doing it, because we'd worked with him before, like.
Yeah, I know, the early stages of the first record before you settled on Jim Abbott. The transition between deciding to not work with him on the first record and working with him on this new record, what had changed for you in terms of James as a guy?
We always wanted to, like, we thought like I think it was more our fault that he didn't work on the first one than like his, but we always knew it was like. I think like we did the Vampires with him, didn't we? And I can remember that like just...
Yeah, we like worked that tune out with like James and Mike, like Vampires on the first record.
It makes sense, because there's a song on the record, it's probably the one that really feels most club orientated. It feels got that groove and it's got that breakdown,
So, and I sort of worked all them bits out with them. We'd always had like a good time, but when we were tried recording with them first time, we'd just been like touring and stuff, and we were playing everything super fast, and we had like a week with him. And we recorded like 10 tunes, and we were like, "Oh, Sam, we've got his album." You know, it's like it's done. And then, like Lawrence,
everyone were like, "Yeah,
I'm not sure that's
quite
really you should ever think." So then it was just like, but this time I don't know, we had perhaps more of a like blank canvas and that, and it just seemed like we always had a good time with them the first time, so we thought, yeah, try Mike and James again.
It's one of the sort of privileges of selling records and having success first time around is that you can go into a studio and, like you say, have a blank canvas. There's not as much kind of people sitting around waiting, you know. I'd imagine that your label and the people close to you left you to your own devices, at least initially, and said, you just go and make the record you want to make.
Yeah.
We're good at that. Lawrence is good at that. Like, then he comes in and he just sits in corner.
Doesn't say out.
And doesn't say no, and then leaves, so you're
He
like...
comes in like nods a bit.
Exactly.
Unlike me, who came in for one night and proposed that Brian Storm should be a ballad. It didn't translate too well. I respect your decision, it turned out right.
Acoustic, this needs
Maracas, I saw them maracas in your back pocket.
Honestly, I wasn't prepared at all. And it took us 6 minutes to get one out.
All right.
Get the cowbell. But you'd already known that the day before. Either that or you were lying, because I don't hear too much cowbell on the record. In terms of choosing a place to record the new record, I'm not just a blank canvas, but I'm sure you could have gone anywhere. I'm sure you could have said, I want to go to LA. We made a collective decision, we want to go to New York. We want to go somewhere and make this record, and people would have done their best to try and satisfy, you know, your demands. But you decided to do it in a closet in East London instead. Why? Is that James's room? Or did he choose where to do the record? Or?
We did it in a few,
all together, because we started in one that were like East Coast studios that were pretty small as well. But Katie Tunstall were in. Like,
she kicked us out.
She had it pre-booked, so we had to vacate.
Makes sense.
So yeah, we did quite a few different studios, and
mostly that and that Miloko.
Then we went up to Liverpool for a bit.
But I don't know. I think it seemed easiest to like do it in London. Like at least we thought, we'll start it here and then see what happens. Because that thing originally, we just like rehearsed sort of 5 tunes and then went to that East Coast and sort of thought we'll just do them and then see what happens. And then it was kind of that it worked out. So we were like, oh right, we'll book somewhere else then for like 2 weeks time.
It's just, you know, this is a natural progression from the first record where you went in and you nailed it down, you know, you laid the whole album down in the order that it turned out, and it just, you know, I don't want to kind of trivialise the process for other bands, but you make it sound very simple. And, you know, the simple reason for that is that you can play your songs and you like playing your songs. It goes like that. But does it ever get stressful? Do you ever have moments where you struggle with a song, you struggle with a lyric, you struggle with a mood for the record that you're suffering with? You know, were there any moments like that on Favourite Worst Nightmare? Or was it smooth running?
It were quite smooth.
There were like a couple that we redid and like tried in different ways and stuff.
And that's fun. I mean, I'm talking about disasters here, gentlemen. None at all.
No disaster.
Wow, amazing.
Disaster. Because I think we kept like moving and stuff, and like we'd have like friends down and stuff, and you know what I mean, like, and sometimes I suppose that could be like a bit of a disaster, but we were lucky it weren't. But it would all sort of just, you know, like move on and kind of not get too
just maintaining the momentum from the touring and everything, success from everything else. People would, you know, will sit there and they'll be watching this or reading the articles in the lead up to the release of the magazine, and they'll assume that everything you went through on that first album would have had some kind of potentially negative impact, some kind of pressure was placed on you at all. But I don't see any sign of that at all, you know.
No, I maybe like ignored it, perhaps like denial or something.
Just buried it deep down where it belongs.
It'll come out one day.
Pretend it never happened.
Yeah. Did you know what kind of record you wanted to make? When you went in, did you know there were certain rules in your own heads that you didn't want to do a certain song like Marty Bum, that you just didn't want to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I didn't...
We talked about it, haven't we?
Like arrangements and stuff, I think we didn't want to just do like a straightforward like arrangement a tunes like that. It'd just be so like straight on the radio.
Yeah, traditional, like, typical or expected.
Yeah. And like we everything to try and like make it just so it was a bit interesting in like with like rhythms and stuff as well. But and I think naturally as well we want to be we got a bit like heavier. We'd just been playing and like you know, listening to them whatever. And
it was good because we didn't really know, so it was just like, it'd be good to do a tune like that, or be good to nick that sound off, borrow that sound. So it'd be like.
And then you saw like Joey Castillo playing drums and it.
Seriously, the first one happened. I mean, that's what happened. Yeah, it's what happened, isn't it? I mean, you went and you actually saw some drummers over time. You finally went out and toured and saw some players and went, actually, I'm more in line with these kind of players than the playing I've been doing, because you all of a sudden became this power drummer. I watched you at the Forum show before Reading and Leeds, and I was just astounded. You know, I mean, obviously you've always been able to play, but just the power at which you were hitting these guys. What was the turning point? Yeah, what was the turning